These my dollars make it hurt.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are kicking off a series that I've decided to call Noobs on Tubes. So what is Noobs on Tubes? Noobs on Tubes is when we take somebody who hasn't done something before, in this case my buddy Chris, and we teach him how to do something new. So what we're going to be learning how to do today is paint correction. Now I know what you're thinking, paint correction, that sounds super sexy. Well, just you wait. Paint correction is the process by which we take paint, whether it's 20 years old and really oxidated, or brand new or new to you, and it's got micro swirls or spider webbing from a dealership, washing it with a used rag or something, and we make that look better than new. So what we're going to be doing is we've got a Obsidian Black 2019 Golf R coming in. It's pretty new to Chris. I think he's had it maybe 3 or 4 months. He's getting it tinted right now, and we're going to show him how to make that paint look better than new. So stick with us, and hopefully you enjoy this and learn something.
Hey, my name is Chris. This is my 2019 Volkswagen Golf R, a little hot hatch action.
And when did you get this?
I got this about 6 months ago or so. Haven't taken it too far because of the pandemic, except for one large road trip. So I love the car, it's great, and I'm looking forward to making it look as pretty as possible.
And what are we doing today?
I think we're going to do some paint correction, some polish, really get her nice and shiny and beautiful and the way she really deserves to be.
And have you ever done anything like this before?
Nope, not outside of just going to the $5 per quarters in the car wash and scrubbing it yourself deal. This is the first time I'm getting really into the detailing job.
All right, well, we're going to just go ahead and skip right over the fact that he's taking his cars to those $5 put your quarter in details, which is like probably making any of you detailers out there skin crawl at this moment. And we're going to go into how to make this better. So if we come on over here, we take a look at everything that we've got laid out today. Now, we're not necessarily going to use all of these things. It's going to depend on what type of condition the paint is in and where. So one thing we are going to start with, though, is we are going to start with this paint prep. Right now we're using Griots line of products. We've used Chemical Guys, Ammo. I mean, they're all really good. This is what we happen to have kind of in abundance right now, so we're going to go with this. What this paint prep is going to do is it's going to pull off any of the wax or silicone that's on there, and it's just going to help us see kind of what kind of condition the paint is really in. All right, the first thing we are doing is we're going to strip the surface. So we are giving some gloves to Chris here to do. There's a couple of different ways that you can use this. You can use it with a rag, like a microfiber pad. You can use it with your bare hand, or you can use it with like a nitrile glove. And so Chris is suiting up here, and then we're gonna walk over here, and all we're gonna do for this, so first we're gonna focus on the hood. Once we get it stripped, then we'll lay down a strip of tape so that we can see the difference side to side. All we're going to do with that is we're going to spray it onto the surface in just like a 2 foot by 2 foot section, and then Chris is going to work it in with his hands. We've got the car stripped down, although when I told Chris that we'd be doing some stripping, I think he had something a little bit different in mind. So
yeah, he said stripping and rubbing, and I just hope for the best.
So now we've divided the hood. So we're going to tackle the right side of the hood first, just so we can see a little bit of before and after. A little bit of the dullness is from the stripping agent that's on there. But now what we're going to do is we're going to use some LED lights or a bigger fluorescent light, and we're just going to look at some of the imperfections in the paint. So we're going to try and get in close here. And actually, if you want to take that rag and kind of wipe this area down a little bit more,
sure,
so we can like discern what's actually swirl marks in the paint versus just what's chemical. All right, now as that dries, so let's take a look here. And it might be hard to see on camera, but you see all these, I mean, look at all these swirl marks right here. So we've got some pretty severe scratches right here that we're going to try and address. We might not be able to get rid of them totally, but I think we can definitely mitigate those. But if you look across the entire paint surface, you can see that it's called spider webbing, right? And so what happens is over time, as people use brushes, like at those $5 car washes, those brushes leave marks. They leave scratches all over the paint surface. Even like a microfiber rag like we're using, if somebody has dropped it or used it on another vehicle and then uses it on this paint surface, you're going to end up with lots and lots of scratches. And it's especially prevalent on black paint. I mean, you get them on all paint, but on white paint they're a lot harder to see. But once you get into black paint, you can see a lot of these scratches a whole lot easier. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use a product to just remove any of the gunk and stuff left on the surface, because what we don't want to do is take a polishing compound and then rub in like dirt or deposits into the paint. So we're going to clay bar it. This is a synthetic clay bar. We're going to use that speed shine to lubricate the surface. All right, so Chris has the speed shine, which we're going to use as a lubricant. You can use speed shine, you can use water, you know, whichever you prefer. And he's got the synthetic clay bar, so he's just going to spray out, you know, on about half the surface of this size to start, and he's just going to work that clay bar back and forth, and you'll feel it as you're going across the paint surface. Remove the kind of pull off deposits, and you'll feel the paint's actually really smooth after. So go for it, sir. How does that feel?
It's very therapeutic. Sitting here, man in his car, rubbing one out, getting it clean.
This will have to be a age-restricted video when it hits the old YouTube.
As well it should be. Now on the second pass coming back towards me, it definitely is way smoother. You can definitely tell.
Awesome. And you can go and, you know, I usually go in a back and forth pattern like that, and then I'll alternate and I'll go, so you get almost like a crosshatch type of pattern, just to make sure you get all the nooks and crannies of it. All right, so for the types of defects that are on the hood, we've got a lot of swirls, and we've got some severe scratches. I wouldn't say severe, but moderate scratches right there. There's nothing that seems to be like piercing the clear coat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use what's called a correcting cream from Griots and a correcting cream pad. So we're going to load up this pad, and then we're going to do a couple passes to show Chris just kind of what the pattern looks like and the speed, and then we'll kick it over to him. So I'm going to, you can either start from the outside in or the inside out, and you just go in a pattern. Let's see if I can hold this here. You really want to get, on the first time you load it up, you want to get the pad not saturated, but good coverage all around, and you can use the bottle of the head to really move this stuff around. If you've got clumps, you just want to get it spread out nice and even, and then on subsequent sections, you don't need to re-grease like the whole pad. You just do like 3 or 4 dots just to make sure that it's well lubricated. So for this one, always check the bottle and see what speeds they recommend. I believe this one's, a 4 to a 6. So we're gonna probably start with about a 5, which it's already set to. This goes over the shoulder so we don't rub it on there. So we're gonna draw like an imaginary line across the hood, and we're just gonna work this section from here down. So always start with it on the vehicle, and we have finished with the correcting cream. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in here close. So this right side over here was not done. Sorry, the left side was not done. The right side was. Let's see if we can get some good view. So if you look on the left side of the fluorescent light reflection, you can see all the spider webs and the swirl marks. So these again are all, yeah, Chris is gonna shine a light here. Yep. So these are all from, car washes, the, rags, all that kind of stuff. Anytime, if you've ever gone to a car wash and used like one of those big brushes that have the soap coming out of it, that's what's doing this. So if you care about your paint, don't do it. And if we move over here to the side that we've done, you can see, all you're seeing is reflection, right? When Chris shines that light on there, it kind of grays it out because you're just getting reflection. If he pulls the light away, well, I guess you're really just seeing the white of the ceiling. It's kind of hard. Let me step back here, but you can see that you're not really, or I guess you can't see, you're not really getting those swirl marks anymore because we've really just kind of mirrored out this paint quite a bit. There are still some deeper scratches that are within there. When you really get under the light, you can see if we wanted to be perfectionists and really get into it, we could go with a deeper type of compound to make it like a 3-stage system. But the theme of this video is kind of DIY, budget, in your garage. So if you wanted to set aside the time to do a 3-stage, you could. This is going to be a quick 2-stage type of setup here that we're doing. All right, what do we got you loaded up with, Chris?
This, I believe, is the polishing perfecting cream right here. So we're going to give this a good pass and so we can see if we can buffer up a little bit more.
Awesome, yeah. So we're going to go over it, do about 3 passes with the perfecting cream, and then once that's done, we're going to go ahead and hop into the ceramic spray. So normally we wouldn't do the ceramic until the whole car was done, but we want to kind of demo the full before and after on the hood. And so we'll go ahead and get all the steps out of the way, pull the tape off, and show you how it looks. And then you'll have everything you need to do your DIY paint correction at home.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, fire it up. All right, we are on to the final steps of this demonstration. So what do we got for this final step?
Ceramic 3-in-1.
All right.
So we're going to give it a nice little spray down and a wipe down, and hopefully be good to go on this side.
Cool. So let's go back here to the hood. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spray this all over this section right here. And we're going to use one rag to kind of spread it around and make sure we have coverage on the whole surface. And then we're going to use another rag to kind of buff it out. So you can do 1 coat of this type of ceramic spray. If you want to do a second for a little bit deeper shine, you can do that, but you need to give it about 24 hours to cure. And the only bummer of doing this, especially in Oregon, is you need to find a day when it's going to be dry if your car is going to be outside, because you don't ideally want to expose it to water for 24 hours after. But once it has fully cured, then just like a good wax, water is just going to bead right off the surface. So with that said, go ahead and give it a green shower.
I have to check our dictionary for that one.
Perfect. Just gonna spread it around. And once you spread it around, you'll be left with kind of a hazy, a little bit of a hazy finish. And then we're just gonna grab the other dry rag. We'll toss that rag in our pocket or something, or wherever it can be safe and away from any grime. And now we're just gonna buff this out. And once that's done, we should be left with a pretty mirror-like protected finish.
It's very piano-like at this point.
So we have completely finished one half of the hood. So the half we're looking at right here is the hood that wasn't touched. So this side of the hood, just for clarification, was car washed. And we stripped it down, but we didn't do any polishing on it. So this is what it would look like coming out. If you just went to like a touchless car wash, this is exactly what it would look like. You know, clean and everything, still looks good. But now let's pan across here, and you can see we ripped off the tape, and you can see where it transitions right along this line right here to the side that we already worked on. Yeah, bring that back into focus there. So you can tell just a huge difference in both the clarity and the depth of color. When we look at it from this angle, this is a great angle to look at it right here. We've got Chris graciously holding up a giant fluorescent for us. You can see between this half and this almost looks gray now, and this looks black. We can catch it from another angle too here, just to show that it's not just a reflection. Again, side that was treated, paint corrected, side that wasn't. So it is now shortly after 9, which puts us at about, what do we start, 5 o'clock? So about 4 hours in, and we have completed the paint correction and ceramic coating. So how was it, Chris?
It was awesome. I learned a lot. I had some fun. The car looks great. What more could you ask for? Lesson number 1: no more $5 quarter car washes.
Yeah, if you call me in a month and say that you stopped by one of those places and use the brush, I may come after you with a hammer.
You have my full permission to do so. I deserve it. No, it was amazing watching the kind of transformation happen to the different steps, and each one progressively getting better. It was awesome. Tons of fun.
We'll get some close-ups here, some of the reflections. Let's get the hood.
It's like a mirror up there.
Yeah, it's really kind of amazing. I mean, how many miles does this car have?
This car has just over 20K.
Okay, so it's relatively new. You know, it's what, a year old,
yeah.
And 20K miles, so not that many miles. And for example, when we looked at these quarter panels right here, they were just completely covered in swirl marks. You can see there's some deeper scratches that we didn't quite get out. We wanted to be conservative with the grit of polish, but we were able to get out probably 95% of all the scratches and swirls that were in here. And you know, the interesting thing is when you showed up, the car looked good. I mean, the paint looked good. It looked clean. It looked sharp. But
right.
In doing this process, we were able to get down to like a whole new level of black in the car. It's like it got, you know, a shade darker.
Yeah, it looks great. And yeah, like you said, we could have gone deeper on it, but I'm not going for showroom quality here. This is a daily driver.
Yep. Again, theme of this was kind of a DIY, budget-friendly paint correction. I'd say all told, you know, if you were to take this to a shop and get this done, you know, you're looking at anywhere from probably $500 to $1,000 when you factor in, you know, the cost of materials, the labor. So probably about 8 hours labor in total. And you know, if you took that money and invested it, we probably used about, you know, you probably have $300 in one-time purchases, and then maybe another $100 in miscellaneous things. But, you know, with those products, we could probably do 5 or 6 of these details.
Easy. Yeah,
so, you know, if you're willing to give up some of your time and learn something, then, yeah, you can totally do this in your garage at home. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. We read everything, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks everybody.